In this video, I have 6 NFL plays for Sunday, Week 11. We have 2 first quarter plays, 2 unders, 1 regular play, and 1 plus 2,500 parlay that we're going to absolutely destroy the books on Sunday. And that's what we've been doing all season long. My name is Austin. I recap every single pick I put out here, and we've been dominating. Thursday, we didn't dominate. We basically broke even. But you see, down below at the bottom, we are still this late in the season hitting 65% of our props. That is unheard of. In the parlay, sure, only 16%, but they're all good plus money, bringing home some more units. We're going to try to duplicate that success going into week 11. Now, I do have to put a couple notes out there. Number one, this is not the only video I do for the NFL. So in case you're curious, I do 3 videos every week. The first one posted on Wednesdays is me going through every single game, giving you my favorite spread or total. The second one is the one that posted earlier on Saturday. Parlays and player props includes 2 of my bigger plays of the weekend, as well as 2 parlays, including my touchdown parlay. You can check that video out if you seek. I'll let you know. Justin Jefferson is one of the player props. You can check out what I'm betting on for him in that video. And then my last note is that, well, we have other plays that we post that I just don't have the time to put them on YouTube. And I also want to pay back to the members that pay for the picks. So again, you can get some extra picks if you join our Dub Club. 50% off for your first month. Link is down below. This week's card, a 1-unit player prop, and a plus 140 parlay. If it interests you, join. They've been printing, so people that are in there are pretty dang happy. You can check it out. They're 5. I don't think I need to sell the reason why you should be in there. At the final note, at the end of the video, I will have an Underdog fantasy entry. If you have no idea what Underdog fantasy is, stay tuned. It's one of the best daily fantasy apps out there. You can play $5. You get $100 in bonus funds. I think they'll also give you a free pick and some boosts and stuff like that. Again, here are all the states that Underdog's available in. If it's in your state in yellow, no reason for you not to sign up using code COS or the link down below. But that's not what you came here for. You came here for some winners. And I got just the plays for you. We'll begin with the play that if you watched last week's video, number 1, I hope you tailed it. Number 2, thanks for returning. And number 3, hopefully you're playing it again with me. It is a first quarter play. It is Amon-Ra St. Brown 10 plus Q1 receiving yards and Jahmyr Gibbs 10 plus rushing yards in the first quarter. This is a 1-unit play. It's minus 108 on FanDuel. I want to say it was minus 110 on DraftKings. Not a big difference either way, either book you go to. Now, if you're on maybe only a daily fantasy app, I probably actually like Amon-Ra St. Brown's first quarter line a little bit better than Gibbs. But why am I taking this? Well, we took it last week. What happened? Well, it cashed in the first 3 plays for the Lions. The first 2 carries, the first 2 plays were carries to Jahmyr Gibbs. He gained, I think, 11 or 12 yards. The next play was a throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah, really could not script it up better than that. And there's no reason for me not to go back to this first quarter parlay. Now, if you're like, well, this is a little weird, Austin, I understand. Here's some hit rates for you. You ready for these? If you look at Jahmyr Gibbs, 10 plus rushing yards in 13 straight first quarters. St. Brown, 10 plus receiving yards, 14 of his last 18 first quarters. And I think it's a solid matchup for the Eagles. If this does not hit, 2 things happen. Number 1, the Lions' first drive was terrible. They really went 3 and out or just didn't do anything. Number 2, that would also need the Eagles to have a really long drive that takes up 8-10 minutes of the clock. And really, the Lions only get 1 drive, maybe 1.5. If they get 2 drives, these 2 guys are going to get the ball. Simple as that. Love both their matchups. We're taking it again. Second play, we're going to a long shot parlay. Can I interest you in one of those? Plus 2,500 odds. Let's talk about these guys to all do their jobs on Sunday. It is 3 legs, all to get 100 receiving yards. Justin Jefferson would technically be the first leg in 1 p.m. Then we go to Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sunday Night Football, and CeeDee Lamb, all 100-plus receiving yards, plus 2,500 odds on, I believe DraftKings is where I placed this. I don't know where the odds go, so check it out if you want to. I don't need to go head and shoulders into all of them, but Justin Jefferson, I think he has a massive bounce back spot. Jalen Johnson just got ruled out for the Bears. Didn't expect him to play at all. Justin Jefferson and J.J. McCarthy will get back on track on Sunday. I'm just saying it's going to happen. St. Brown, I think he has a massive spot here against the Eagles, a decent-ish rush defense, but the Eagles not very good against slot wide receivers. That's where St. Brown does majority of his damage. Quinyon Mitchell, not really traveling to the slot, and if he wants to have fun, St. Brown's one of the best wide receivers in football, and I think Quinyon is one of the better corners in football. St. Brown will get the targets. He just will. And then finally on CeeDee Lamb, Monday Night Football, I mean, come on, man. The guy gets like 100 yards every week as long as he finishes the game against the Raiders in a dome. Yeah, I'm in. 0.1 units, nothing too crazy. I'll love it. 0.1 unit to win over 2.5. That's great. Low risk, high reward. Count me in. My third play is a guy who's on a team that has sucked recently, and I think this is the week he pops off. Last week, we saw some running backs go nuclear. Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achane, Jahmyr Gibbs. This guy's right in that conversation. He's kind of been lackluster the last few weeks. Not this week. It is Bijan Robinson. Bijan, however you want to pronounce his name. I don't care. He's going over 113.5 rushing plus receiving yards. I'm only playing this for a half unit because it is a super high line, but minus 114 on FanDuel. I'd play it up to whatever, 117.5. I think Bijan, if he goes over, he gets 120 plus. Now, like I said, Bijan has been under this line pretty frequently. 4 straight games he's under. All 4 Falcons losses. And while you could say Tyler Algier is vulturing some work, I don't disagree with you. But this is a spot where they get back on track against the Panthers. Now, Bijan faced the Panthers earlier this year, had 111. Now, that's not going to cut it. I don't care if he finished with 65. 111 is not going to get the job done. I need 114, but I think this is a spot where he gets it done. If you look at Bijan's runs, 80% of his runs come via zone reads, zone concept type runs, where he averages about 5.5 yards per carry. Well, the Panthers run zone coverage at an 85% clip, second highest. I think Bijan gets going. His last 3 versus the Panthers, 105, 173, and 111. I think he has a big day in the air and on the ground. I think this is the week he busts out a big play. He hasn't really had one in 4 straight weeks. We all know he has the ability. One snap like that, the man's gone for 70 yards. I think he can do it against the Panthers here. Love his overs. I'd probably lean towards rushing yards alone, but Bijan has taken receptions for 50 plus yards. So it's reasonable. Plus, we are neutralized by game script. There's really, if they're winning, he gets more carries. If they're losing, he gets more opportunities in the air. So I love taking the rush and receiving yards. A line that he was crushing early in the season, under in 4 straight, not going to be 5 straight. Next play, we have a first quarter play. Can I interest you in one of those? This is a guy making his return back to his old stomping grounds. And if I had known his profile shot looked like this, with him looking like he had a perm, not sure what to bet it, but let's talk about Cooper Kupp. 1 Q1 reception. I mean, look at the hair on that man. Okay, pause. That's a little weird, but I took it at plus 105 on Fanatics, a half unit play. It's just him to get a catch in the first quarter. I don't care if it goes for negative 50 yards. As long as he gets 1 catch, he gets the job done at plus 105. I want to say it was minus 110 on DraftKings. You can take his Q1 yards line. That is 2.5, but he ain't getting the 3 receiving yards without a catch. So I'd rather go here. Now, why am I on Cooper Kupp first quarter reception? Number one, we've been good on for Q1 reception props, but that's not why. And while you could say, well, Rashid Shaheed's taking his spot, I don't know so much. And Cooper Kupp makes his return back to LA for the Rams. I mean, Mr. Kubiak, the guy that calls the plays for the Seahawks, can we not find some way in our first 10 to 15 scripted plays, if you will, to get the ball into Cooper Kupp's hands? They're going to do a dang tribute for him. Let's at least get him involved early. I don't care if he has 1 reception all game, but I'd be shocked if they didn't at least have some sort of play that gets him the ball. I don't care if it's a bubble screen, if it's hey, go run 2 yards, we'll throw it to you, you get some easy yards. I don't really care, but he is a shorter yardage guy. If I'm the Rams, we're loading up on Jackson Smith and Jigba. We're going to make Cooper Kupp beat us. I think Cooper Kupp has a pretty decent game. Returning back to his old stomping grounds. Some added motivation here. Playing a tribute. Throw him the dang ball. First quarter. 1 reception. Plus 105. Count me in on that one. And then my final play of the day, I saved it for last. It's a guy on the thumbnail because if this one doesn't hit, I want the least amount of people to see it because, man, I will get attacked for taking this under. And I know I don't really care about the comments. It is what it is. I've been so good this season. One loser. Whatever. Jamar Chase, we're taking his unders. I put 5th and 6th because I have 2 plays on him, both a half unit. So in total, 1 unit. Jamar could take me behind the shed for 1 unit if that's the case. But I took his under 8.5 receptions at minus 112. I have the book that I took it on. I want to say that was FanDuel, and minus 110 on his under 25.5 yards for his longest reception, minus 110 as well. That one's on DraftKings. I know it's scary taking an under on Jamar Chase. It feels like the same thing as taking an under on Nikola Jokic, which I did on Saturday, TBD to see how that goes. But I do think this is a good spot to fade Jamar Chase. Now, I know what you're saying, Austin. Did you not just watch the last time these 2 teams played on a Thursday? The guy had 16 receptions, 23 targets. I did. And I was honestly shocked that the Steelers were that underprepared to defend Jamar Chase. And that was Jalen Ramsey's final game, I believe, as this corner. They were like, nope, you were getting torched. So they threw him into the secondary. And you've actually seen the Steelers defense be a lot better, especially against the pass. And I would be shocked if Mike Tomlin and company, with a full week of preparation here, does not focus on Jamar Chase. I mean, Joe Flacco was literally looking at him all game. I double team him, and that's why I like the under and longest reception. Even in that game where Jamar Chase had 16 receptions, he still went under that longest reception line. So you like to see that. And Joe Flacco, I think, will be under pressure. He's going to have to get the ball out of his hands quick. And I would be shocked if the Bengals are not seeing double coverage on Jamar Chase. If that's what I would do if I were the Steelers, double team Jamar and let T. Higgins go up and make contested catches over us all game long. I mean, live with that. Noah Fant, sure, live with those sort of things. I like fading Jamar Chase here. I know, crazy. I'm only doing a 1 unit total, but I do think these are two solid. I mean, it is not easy to get 9 receptions in a game. And I get Joe Flacco slinging it around, and this could be negative game script. But again, they have a full week of preparation compared to just a short week against that Thursday night game. If they don't put 2 guys on Jamar Chase, they deserve to get burned by him. And I'll live with it. I think Mike Tomlin's a better coach than that. I like his under receptions and under and longest reception. Pretty solid. We'll take that. Then finally, we end the video with my Underdog entry. A reminder, if you are new to Underdog, you should sign up using my code COS. All you got to do is play $5, get you $100 of bonus funds. They give you a bunch of boosts. They give you free picks and stuff. You should get in there if you can. Again, here are all the states it's available in. If it's in your state, what are you waiting for? Here are some plays I looked at. Maybe I just didn't pull the trigger on. Roma Dunze, his regular receptions line is 4.5. I like the thing on Underdog where you can boost a guy up. Maybe you like his less than. Like, fine, I'll boost him up 1. Boom, 5.5. Jameis Winston and Cam Ward, they're throwing picks. That's just what they do. Jameis, man, so good to see him back under center. We all know the Jameis experience. That bit is flying, and he don't care who it's going to. It's getting chucked. I know the Packers haven't forced a ton of interceptions. They'll get one off Jameis. Cam Ward, a tough matchup for him against the Texans, one of the best secondaries in football. And then Derrick Henry, a quiet one, I think goes over. Derrick Henry's less than looks like an easy play. You look at the last time he faced the Browns, he had 11 carries for 23 yards. It seems so easy to take his less than his under. And the next thing you know, he's got 140 yards. And you're like, why am I getting sharp taking an under on Derrick Henry? I mean, this is the Browns defense that actually hasn't really stopped the run all too well as of late. I think Derrick Henry has a good game. I just don't see him soaring under back-to-back games versus the Browns. So I threw a couple bucks on that. $10 turns into 50 something. So again, 20 bucks, 100 plus. Count me in. Those are my favorite plays. Again, 2 other videos on the screen. The top one is our game picks video. We go through every single game on Sunday. And we talk about Monday Night Football, which we'll have a separate video for. And of course, the bottom one over here, a couple other player prompts and parlays for Sunday. We've been cooking the books. Hopefully you've been joining and making some money with me. If you haven't, plenty of season left. Hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on any of the plays. And I'll see you guys back again in the next one. It's Austin. I'm signing out. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.